Hello everyone, welcome to or welcome back to my YouTube channel if you're new around here. My name is Hannah Hawthorne and I'm Simply Witched. Today's video is all about connecting to the land that you live on, which is something that I've always struggled with because I don't like where I live. And in turn, it has brought a lot of my practice inside. And it is not directly dependent on the environment around me. To give you a little bit of background and to explain why I am in this situation, I'm originally from northern Minnesota, which is a place with extreme seasonal changes. We lived in the countryside and had a farm, and I spent most of my childhood outdoors. If I could, I would spend every moment outside. I have always been a nature girl, and I think it's a huge reason I've been drawn to witchcraft and paganism. Fast forward to now, and I live in Miami, Florida. Dun dun dun. The only reason that I am here is because my boyfriend Colton is in school here, but once he graduates, we are leaving, and thankfully we only have 1 year left, but as my time in Miami diminishes, I introspect on how I have spent my life here and I have some regrets. I wish that I would have tried harder to like living here and to connect to the land because I'm here. I have to be here and it would have made my time living here easier. I didn't do myself or my practice any favors by closing myself off to the opportunity to do that. And if I could go back and talk to my younger self and tell her that, I would, but because I can't, I have decided that for the last year of living here, I am going to love it. I am going to try, at least. It is still Florida. If you live in Florida, you get to make jokes about it. I've spent enough time here. It's joke time. I wanted to document this process of trying to love it because I think that a lot of you will resonate with this and I hope it is helpful. Regardless if you love the land you live on or you hate it, like me. This video is meant to strengthen your relationship with it and make your witchcraft more intertwined with the energy around you. I hope you enjoy. Hi, it is Editing Hannah here. I just want to make a quick note because you're about to hear me talk about Miami a lot, and the only reason that I am doing it is because I am giving examples from where I live. This video is not to just inform you what Miami is like. I want you to take what I am saying and learn these things about where you are from. But if you are also looking to learn a tremendous amount of information about South Florida, boy, is this the video for you. The first thing that I recommend doing to connect to the land that you live on is to learn about the history. What historical events have shaped the land? Who has shaped the land? Every inch of our earth has been affected by colonialism, and that is important to acknowledge. This is another reason that I felt a little uncomfortable connecting to the land, especially here in South Florida where this was never going to be my home. I'm a visitor and I just wanted to approach this in the most respectful way possible. A book that really helped me navigate this is Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer, and I think it is my life's mission to tell people about this book. Ever since I discovered it, everyone I know has received it for their birthday, Christmas, any holiday that exists. If you're getting a gift from me, it is Braiding Sweetgrass. It should be mandatory reading. If you are unfamiliar with this author, she is an indigenous scientist, specifically a botanist and a member of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation. We read this book as part of my Discord book club. If you don't know, I have a book club and I have a Discord, obviously, and you can join that down below. I did also review it here on my channel and I will post a link to that here, but it has been instrumental in shaping my worldview. Another resource I recommend for learning about the indigenous peoples whose land you live on is https://nativeland.ca. I am not affiliated with this website in any way. I just googled whose land am I on and this popped up. It'll show you what native land you are living on, and from there you can research that nation. For me personally, I am living on Miccosukee land. After I found this out, I googled the nation and I found their official website. There they had a list of indigenous businesses that I could support and even a tour guide company that would take me out and let me explore their land and learn about their history from them. They offer airboat rides, which I am so excited to do. The only reason I haven't done it yet is because I want to wait till winter when it's cooler out. During the summer, a lot of animals aren't active around here because it's too hot. Next, who else do you share your land with? Miami is so culturally diverse and there are so many people from so many many different walks of life. Primarily, a lot of people immigrated from Latin America and the surrounding islands like Cuba, Puerto Rico, and the Bahamas. Whoever you share your land with, they are going to bring their culture with them, and that'll be reflected in the world around you. Whether it is the language you hear when you walk down the street, the food that is available to eat, or the architecture of the buildings around you, everything. This is the part of Miami that I have always loved, and living down here has opened my eyes to so much and made my worldview so much bigger. And since living down here, I have always tried to be involved in my local community and celebrate their culture and feel extraordinarily honored when someone shares that with me. If you want to connect to the land that you live on, get involved in your local community. The culture around you is also what creates local folklore and superstitions too. A book that I highly recommend, especially if you live in North America, is New World Witchery by Corey Thomas Hutchison. This is a trove of North American folk magic and contains an enormous collection of regional stories, artifacts, rituals, and traditions of all of North America. It is absolutely the most comprehensible book about the subject, and it is a must-have in my opinion. After you learn about where you live and the people you share your land with, move to connecting with the land itself, starting with the climate and geography, which ultimately decide what kind of local flora and fauna you will have. This has been the most difficult part about living in Miami, and it's funny because the things that I'm about to complain about are other people's dreams. The average temperature in Miami is 80 degrees, and you can swim and plan all year round because it's always sunny, and I hate it. I wake up every day like that one line in Hocus Pocus, "What another glorious morning. Makes me sick." I cannot wait for the second Hocus Pocus to come out. Right now, it is the 29th of September, and it comes out tomorrow, the 30th, and I just watched the first one last night to get in the mood, and I was like, that is me. That is me every single morning. Makes me sick. Anyway. Living down here, I have learned that without a doubt, I need seasons. I need seasons, and without them, I feel extremely disconnected from my practice and the natural cycles of the earth. I recently stopped celebrating the Wheel of the Year, which is something that I have talked about in my last 2 videos. The first one is an honest conversation about Wicca, and the second was my video for the autumn equinox. The reason that I have stopped is because I am not experiencing seasons like they are described in the Wheel of the Year, so it doesn't really make sense to celebrate it like I am. I am in the process of making my own Wheel of the Year, a Miami Wheel of the Year, and when I move in 1 year, it's going to change again. This is something that I will eventually make a video on, but I highly recommend that you do the same. Obviously, you don't have to stop celebrating the Wheel of the Year, but I think taking the wheel as a framework and creating something that is more personalized to you and the seasons that you are truly experiencing will make your practice more enriching. The Wheel of the Year was created for Western Europe, so if you don't live there and you're not experiencing those seasonal changes, perhaps create something that is more personal to you, especially if you live in the Southern Hemisphere where it's completely backwards. Miami is classified as a tropical monsoon climate, and the only seasons that we have are a wet and a dry season. The summer is the wet season, and it rains almost every single day during the summer, but it's not like a cozy, chilly, rainy day, no. Walking outside is like taking a hot shower. It is identical to the feeling of taking an actual shower, but you're outside in your clothes and it is 100 degrees. It is insane. The winters make up for it a little bit. They're my favorite. It is not as hot and it doesn't rain every day, but it's still humid. It's me again. Hi. I forgot to include that I am probably going to break my Wheel of the Year into these 2 seasons, a wet and a dry season. This is still something I'm figuring out in my practice, but I think my Wheel of the Year will focus heavily on the water element, as we get so much water in the summer and a lack of it in the winter. Food for thought for you if you are living somewhere that does not have seasons. Look at what you do have and see how that can structure your wheel of the year. If you search, "What climate am I in?" you can find this information for where you live. You can also figure out what plant zone you are. This is something gardeners use to figure out what plants will thrive in their locations, but you can also use it to find a list of your native plants. Miami is 10B, which is actually super rare for America. This zone is usually found in places like Africa and South America, and I think this is incredible. The plants here are like nothing I've ever seen, and I'm so excited to be able to get to know them before I go. I will leave a link to the website I use to figure out what plant zone I'm in, and I would love it if you would use it and comment what plant zone you're in and what climate you're located in. It would be so cool to see where everyone is and what kind of energy they have surrounding them. If you can, get outside and get acquainted to the world around you. I recommend starting with the area directly outside, like literally walk out your door and go for a walk. Magic is right in front of you, you just have to discover it. Until pretty recently, I thought that I lived in a pretty non-magical area. I live in a huge city, there's a busy road right under me, there's a lot of traffic and businesses, and I'm like, there is no magic here. Yeah, you hear that? Because that is what it sounds like outside, and I don't like that. I would rather be in the middle of a forest somewhere, and one day I will, but today is not that day, and I'm trying to live my life the best I can now. Romanticize where you are. Maybe I'll have to do that video. Romanticizing where you live. Or perhaps like city witchcraft specifically, I would be interested in doing because I've got that down packed at this point. Anyway, something that I did recently to help me with this, to get more acquainted with my space, is to create a map of my neighborhood. This is the area directly outside of my apartment. Now, no one judge, okay? This is a work in progress, and all I had was like broken Crayola colored pencils and like hot pink and neon green markers. I came up with this idea last night when I was writing the script for this video, and I just wanted to stop and make something. Right now, I just have the general layout of things, but I want to identify all of the local plants and make a list and probably do like a key over here as well. Identify the plants, the things that I just see on my walks, and figure out where all of the local creatures live. And to do this, I've been using an app called Picture This. You can just take a photo of something, be it a tree or a lizard, and it'll tell you exactly what it is. Once you discover what a specific tree, for example, is, you can look up its folklore, mythology, see if it was used in medicine, and how you can use it in your magical practice. You can do the same thing for animals as well, because they all have their own symbolism. This is actually something that I wrote about in my book, The Magic of Birthdays. I have a complete list of animals and their symbolism that you can use in your magical practice. I am bringing out a lot of resources for this video. I love it, and I hope that it's helpful for you and can bring you to different places to explore and grow more once you have watched this. When I talk about working with spirits, oftentimes I am talking about plant spirits or animal spirits. I am not talking about ghosts or deities or different things like that. I am an animist, so I believe that everything has a spirit that you can interact with in your practice. Be it a tree that you passed every single day on the way to work, or a bird that lands on your windowsill. Beyond the land that is directly outside your home, I recommend visiting local museums, national and state parks, nature sanctuaries, or preserves. Really any place that is dedicated to preserving your land, its people, its history, or its animals. My boyfriend and I have tried to go to at least one of these places every weekend for the last 5 weeks. And I got a lot of footage of this, so I thought I would just put it in here at the end and tell you all about our experiences. First, we went to the Everglades. Now, if you've never been to the Everglades, it is the most confusing national park because it's huge and there are so many different access points. There are areas you can only get to by airboat, like they're impassable and you need a guide, and there's others that you can do on foot. We went through the Shark Valley Visitor Center, which is one of the most popular parts of the Everglades, and I highly recommend. It is a 15-mile loop that you can either take the trolley or bike ride through. We did the bike ride, though I'm not sure that I would do that again, especially not during the summer. It was 100 degrees, the only wildlife we saw were birds, and I almost threw up. It is truly a mystery why I don't love this place. After that, we went to several privately owned botanical gardens. One of the most frustrating things about living in a city is that I have to pay to experience nature. Where I live, I can't just walk into a forest. They don't exist, or I haven't discovered them. Also, if anyone has any recommendations for nature things down in Miami or South Florida, please comment them down below and I'll go check them out. I would even love to do some vlogs of these things, so please let me know. But this lack of forest might be a Florida thing because a lot of our land is impassable. Like, it's swampland and you can't walk in it, so it has to be developed in order for people to experience it. Otherwise, you would need like a machete to traverse the land. That aside, I have been to a lot of these places and you can learn so much about the environment around you. There's probably infographics about the animals in the area and the local plants and how people used them to survive. This video is getting pretty long, so I'm gonna stop it here, but this is a subject that I am very passionate about and I will continue to post about in this next year as I get to know Miami. She and I have a lot of lost time to make up for, and I hope that you enjoy seeing this, and I hope this video was helpful for you. Next week, however, I'm going to be leaving Florida. I'm going to go visit my best friend Autumn, the redheaded witch. I'm sure all of you are familiar with her, but if you are not, definitely go check out her channel. She lives in the Pacific Northwest, and I'm so excited to be able to experience a little bit of fall while I'm there. This is also the place that I will be moving in a year, which is so wild because I had plans to move there for a very long time. My boyfriend's family is there. Her and I became friends, and she loves the Pacific Northwest, and her life brought her there. My life is bringing me there, and we're just soul friends, friends for life, and we're gonna film a lot of content together. We're gonna do some fun things, some magical things, and just enjoy time together. So I hope that you enjoy seeing our collaborations come up on my channel and hers in the following weeks. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed. If you did, please leave me a like, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification. To keep up with me, there is a link down below to all of my other platforms, as well as to join my Discord and to buy my book. That is all I have for you today, so until next time, have a magical rest of your day, blessed be, and goodbye, everyone.